Kehanim oichlim u'bailim iskaprim. The Kehanim eat from the meat, and the bailim, the owners, the people who brought it, which are not the Kehanim, they get a kapara, they get an atonement. How do they get an atonement? So we have to look into this deeper, but it's unbelievable. This is where you see one of the places in the Torah that the concept that when you give people an opportunity to eat, you have a kapara, you have an atonement. People sponsor a kiddush, people sponsor a yard side, a bris, a wedding. What are all these things? Why is it always connected with food? Because when you bring food in a holy place and people sit down and eat, it's a big aliyah, it's a big elevation for the neshama if it's a yard side, and if it's a wedding for the chas and kala, for the family, that they get mitzvahs, they get many blessings for helping in the process to providing the food. Not that God forbid that people don't have food at home and people were starving. Doesn't say that about the Kahanim. Doesn't say that the Kahanim were starving. You provided food for the Kahanim and they ate and they enjoyed it. And if it's a mitzvah saseh, they ate from this meat, from the korban, you're going to have a kapara, you're going to have an atonement. Hashem makes the world in a way that we need each other. We compensate. We're here together. We have to work together in the whole process. Okay, that's one great lesson we can learn from today's Rambam. Not only the Chattas and the Asham. It's not working. Another thing that I want to say from the...
I can trust it.
No, it's not working. From the Parsha of Noach, how the Rebbe explains it, and it's brought in other Svarim, that the Noach, that means menucha, to rest. To rest from what? So Noach, it was Hashem was upset and was angry, and the world was upside down, so the world needed menucha. The world needed a new beginning. But it goes much deeper than that. It says that the Noach, it says twice, it's connected with Shabbos. Shabbos is the union of menucha. Shabbos is tranquil. Noach is menucha. To give tranquility. Slow down and change your pace and change your priorities. Even if you're doing a lot of good things during the week, but Shabbos you have to shift your thoughts and your speech and your actions in a different direction. In a higher level. So Noach, it says that the two Noachs, there are many interpretations. If it's reflected in Shabbos there's two levels basically. There's Friday night, it's the beginning of Shabbos, and Shabbos by day. But in detail there's even three levels. The third level, that's Shabbos afternoon, that's the mincha time, it's the highest level of Shabbos. But the great mitzvah that Hashem, it's not, every mitzvah is important, but the mitzvah of Shabbos becomes a central mitzvah, becomes a sign. Ois hi beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, becomes a sign between Hashem, that's the bris, it's the covenant that Hashem made with us. It's in a certain way, there's another bris. Today's parsha, Hashem said to Noach, I'm not going to bring another flood to the world. And I'll give you a sign that it's not going to happen. The rainbow.
You say also in the bracha of the rainbow.
Yeah. You see, why is the rainbow so significant? So, rabbis tell us that the rainbow is not something that man could perform. A person cannot put together a rainbow. A rainbow is from Hashem and it has a beautiful colors. And it comes and it's a reflection and it comes usually after the rain. So this is a sign that Hashem is showing us that He wants us to see the beauty in creation. He wants us to see the majesty of His work. But you have to see it. You have to open up your eyes. You could be standing next to gold, next to an opportunity, but you don't know that it's a great opportunity. The next person next to you, he sees a major opportunity, major potential. He has the vision. And the other guy doesn't see it, doesn't get it. Why? Because he's not right enough, or he's not enlightened enough. Torah brings light. Torah opens up your eyes. You should see the great potential that you have, that the community has, the world has. The world possesses tremendous resources. A lot of people, unfortunately, they want to destroy the world. Not interested, only to destroy. Every day they're thinking, how do you manufacture more terrorism, more missiles, more arms to hurt innocent people? And you have the normal people who get up in the morning and say, how to create a better world, more for the advancement for society. People should be more healthier, people should be more happier, people should be more together. How do you do that? So this is basically the balance that Hashem is showing us in the Parsha. So going back to Noach and Shabbos, it says that the Shabbos is the central mitzvah that keeps the Jewish people alive, that gives us our identity. Because the Goyim also, lahavdil, they also do mitzvahs, but they don't have the mitzvah of Shabbos. Hashem did not give it to them, and they're not allowed to keep Shabbos. What about Noach himself? Did he keep Shabbos? So last night I was reading that according to the Marachayim, according to the Meforshim, Noach kept Shabbos. It can't be that the world cannot exist with at least one person keeping Shabbos. In the time of Adam Arisha, and he kept the Shabbos. That's why it says that when the sin that he ate from the fruit, it was right before Shabbos, and Hashem let him stay in Gan Eden. Over Shabbos. So he was Shomer Shabbos. The world cannot exist if at least one person is not keeping Shabbos. So who kept the Shabbos in the time of Noach? Noach. What do you do with the Gemara? How do you reconcile the Gemara? It says, Ben Noach sheshah bas chayiv nisa. The Gemara says that a goy is not allowed to keep Shabbos. Not allowed. He has to. Hashem doesn't want the Shabbos to be practiced by non-Jews.
Is there a mitzvah rosa say that a goy is not allowed?
No, it's not a mitzvah. It's not a mitzvah.
So how can we say that a goy can't? If a guy is existing in the world and he says, I believe there's one God and I want to keep Shabbos. He's not a Jew. He never became part of the clan, so to speak. But who was telling him he can't be a Jew? The Jews?
The Gemara.
The Jews are telling him he can't be a Jew.
The Gemara. The Chachamim and the Gemara.
Say you can't
and
be
they're saying it in the name of Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu heard it from Hashem. Doesn't have to be one of the 613
But it's brought
mitzvahs.
down in the
Brought down the Gemara, it's brought down the Halacha. So what about? Huh?
Is it deliberately?
Deliberately.
What if it's inadvertent?
And
What if he's in a coma or something like that?
that's different. So that's different. He's not conscious. So how do you reconcile about Noach himself? I saw one of the Mefarshim say, big Kiddush, that Noach converted. Noach became, on his level, he gave up completely Avodah Zarah. He became like a Yid. It's hard to explain that because it was before Matan Torah, but even Avram Avinu, it says.
Avraham Avinu was before Matan Torah.
Right,
They
and
all
they kept
davened, and
Shabbos.
They knew all the mitzvahs and they kept Shabbos.
Yeah.
They were Jews.
How did they know?
They didn't have the Torah yet.
How did they become Jewish? If the Torah
Because
wasn't
they
given
accepted
yet.
upon themselves the yoke of heaven.
No, more than that. They accepted upon themselves all the whatever mitzvahs they learned, they studied.
From?
All the way back. And it's probably Hashem sent an angel to teach them Torah. Because it can't be that, how did they figure it out by themselves? Can't be.
But they learned it with Shaban Ever.
Now I'm talking about Avraham Avinu.
Oh.
Avram learned it from Shem and Ever. And who did Shem and Ever learn it from?
The Eberster.
From Noach. So no, someone was giving over the Messiah, the tradition, right? You're right. It says that Shem and Ever was the rabbis, the teachers of Yaakov and Yitzchak. Okay, so and Avram. So how did they have the Torah? Someone taught it to them. It has to be that it was given down from either came from Adam and Adam learned it from Hashem, or a Malach came and taught it. It's like a Malach teaches you Torah in your mother's womb. And a Malach can come and teach Avraham Avinu all the mitzvahs and Noach. But it's interesting that this idea that we're learning about the story of Noach and the history has to be brought down, it says, in a practical level, in a practical application for us. One of the things I was inspired by Yosef, he showed me he referred me to a class from Rabbi Mansour. Rabbi Mansour is a Sephardic rabbi in Brooklyn. He's a very popular person, very learned, and he explains in great length how there's a big parallel in the Torah between Noach and Moshe Rabbeinu. This is based on the teachings of the Arizal. And one day we'll go deeper into it. It's a very long, fascinating class, but basically there's other references. It's not just
Different levels.
huh?
At different levels.
Different levels, but Moshe Rabbeinu was the tikkun of Noach. And the world needed a big tikkun, and could not have this tikkun until Moshe Rabbeinu came along and brought down the Torah from Hashem. Because the world without Torah has no purpose. The whole purpose is that we should have Torah, and the Torah should teach us and guide us, and we should live with the laws of the Torah.
So I learned today that Noach, he was tzaddik because he did the right thing on him himself, selfishly. He didn't do any musar to anybody else. And the tikkun that Moshe did is that he did musar to everybody to influence others.
There's many parallels. Yeah, it's true, correct. Another thing is that Noach is connected with the boat. And Moshe Rabbeinu, it says his mother put him into the teva, to a box, and his name Moshe was, he was saved from the water, like Noach was saved from the water. Moshe explains an interesting thing. By Noach, the people violated, they desecrated Hashem's name. That's why the flood happened. But Moshe Rabbeinu was just the opposite. Through his being saved from the water, and later on through the splitting of the ocean, of the sea, which came through Oz, Yosher, Moshe, he sanctified, he glorified Hashem's name. Just the opposite of what happened that in this time during Noach. It all came together. Coming back to the idea of Noach and Menucha, person has to, if a person wants to have Menucha, more peace of mind and more calmness in their life, less anxiety or no anxiety, it has to be connected with Shabbos Kodesh. A person will keep the Shabbos properly. This will give the bracha that during the week will have more peace of mind, more balance, less worries, less anxiety, because we trust more with Hashem, and Hashem is in control, just like in the time of Noach. What are the odds that Noach will survive? If everyone's going, everyone's being destroyed, Noach also. No, Noach is one person between millions of people. Hashem said, I'm going to take care of my Noach. Why? He's my boy. He didn't forsake me. He kept the traditions. He did what I told him to do. So too, nowadays, we should stick together, keep the mitzvahs with strength, and know that Hashem is definitely holding on to us, watching over us, supervising us, protecting us, and bring us the Gula Shlei on the Karma.